Was a group of my friends who always criticize what I'm saying and not even try to understand where I'm coming from. And I've always wondered how to deal with that. I mean, I want to listen to what they're saying, but they're not understanding they're not trying to listen to what I'm saying. So what would you do in that situation?
I'm going to answer that very briefly. Okay. There's a line in the New Testament that's relevant to that. Do not cast pearls before swine. And what that means is that if people are not listening to you, stop talking to them. And that is the best piece of advice that I can give you. And what happens is that if you stop talking to people who aren't listening to you and start watching them instead, they will tell you what they're up to. But so if you have things to say them, but you find people that will listen, talk to them. The ones who aren't listening, pull back. Because you're devaluing what you have to say by offering it to an audience that does nothing but reject it. And that's a good guideline to life in general. So pull back.
Stop talking to people and they're not even listening to you, unless you're giving them bad news. If you've ever paid attention when you're talking or rambling, have you ever sat and wondered, is this person listening to me? But you know for a fact that when you're telling someone a bad story, when you're telling them about your downfalls and you're broken and you're falling apart, that's usually when you have people's attention. Those are the times where people are extra tuned in. But you notice that the more you begin to elevate, the more you begin to come out of that, the more you begin to grow. And it's almost like they're not that happy for you. They don't want to display that they are that happy for you. So a lot of things you say go unheard. A lot of things that you speak on may go unheard. Because you have to be very careful about the company that you're keeping. Misery loves company. So if you have a lot of misery in your life and that's all you can talk about, all that you can produce, all that you have to say, you always have to be very careful about who's your listening ear, who it is that you're confiding into, because a lot of times you may be talking to yourself, especially when it comes to how you want to do better. And then when you actually start doing better is when they definitely don't want to hear you or listen to you. And something that I learned from my favorite man, Jordan B. Peterson, is that if you are talking to someone and they're not listening, maybe you should stop talking to them. That's one of the most wisest things I heard. Instead of being angry or trying to prove a point, you simply just stop talking. And you go where you are heard. You go where there's like-mindedness. But you just always have to be careful about who you are confiding in, who you're telling all of your business to. Because that could be the very person that is preying on your downfall. The very person hoping that you just don't make it. Waiting for you to give them that bad call again so that they can either laugh at you or say, yeah, that's what you get. That's what you deserve. You've had everything handed to you anyway. That's what you deserve. You always got good things going on for you, but not for me. I had to fight for everything I got. That's how people start to act. That's how people start to act. And before you know it, it's like, I thought you was my homie. I thought you was my girl. I thought you was my dude. I thought you was somebody that I can call. And really the whole time, you're the very person wishing that I don't make it. How'd that work? Discernment is one of the most powerful things that you can have. One of the most powerful things that you can develop and nurture and expand your knowledge on. Discernment will save you so many it'll save you from having so many useless friendships, useless relationships, connections with people that you've known for years that ain't never cared about your well-being. But when they down low, they know who to call because they know you're going to come 10 toes down. Anytime that they have a shortcoming, they know who to call because you solid. Even when you ain't got it together for yourself, you still solid. Everybody can still come and eat off your plate if they need to. And you welcome them to. But you got to watch that people will take advantage of that. And sometimes even when you're down, people don't feel like that's enough. They still think that your light is shining too bright and you need to dim it. So people will try to diminish you by not listening, by not actually even caring about when you made it. You ever notice that when you start talking different, you start walking different, and now everybody that was supposed to be in your circle got the shifty eyes. All of a sudden, everybody kind of looking at you funny, making little comments. I see you got your little business. I see you with that little boy that you've been talking to. I see you with your little job. I know you've been trying to get a job, but I see you now. You got your little job. When people start trying to make what you doing small, especially when you was at the bottom, the very bottom, when you was at the very bottom and you start coming up, coming up, and coming up. And all of a sudden everything you're doing is little. All of a sudden you're doing too much. And now I see why Buddy was like, Ruby at the plastic, you acting brand new. Ruby at the plastic, I ain't acting brand new. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to watch these people because they'll creep in your life. They will creep in your life faster than you can understand. Because I know we all go through things where you need a listening ear. You need to just sometimes break down. You need to just take that mask off, take that armor off real quick and tend to your wounds. Sometimes you need that listening ear of somebody that you can call day in and day out and you can kind of just let everything out. A therapist will be great, but not everybody has that. They have a friend, they have a mom, they got a dad. And sometimes it's them same people too. They don't want to hear nothing you got to say when you're doing good. But every time you got something bad to say, they right there waiting. They right there waiting. Every time something go wrong. Every time you just feeling like, you running into a dead end. You got to watch who you ready to just emotionally dump on. Not everybody is willing to be a listening ear for the right purpose. Some people want to be a listening ear so that they can wish against you and plot against you. For we not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and evilness and kingdoms of darkness. Come on now. Come on now. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't act like you don't. There's some people that have come in your life and you really like them, but you peeped it because you learned. You peeped it because you learned, and now you're able to withdraw that energy that you're giving this person or that you wanted to give this person because you thought they was cool. You thought it was somebody that you can rely on. Go out and just release all that stress and just get to know one another. Just somebody that you can vent to, but you've learned and you peeped it. Something that is very valuable that I learned is that when you hold back more of your character, when you are have more discernment and you limit your speech, you limit the things that you display, and you more so watch your surroundings. You take note, you observe your surroundings. You're always listening. People will begin to become more and more interested and curious because you're not giving them enough energy or information for them to create whatever picture they want of you in their mind. People like to try to fill you out. They want to know who you are. They want to know what you do because sometimes people want to know that again because they're plotting. They gotta get to know you. So when you limit and you withdraw yourself and not always be in everybody's face, not always ready to talk, not all ready to just break down and just be real and just let it out. Woo, I'm tired. When you take that away off the table and you begin to go in new areas of your life, new relationships, new jobs, people will not be able to read you as clearly because you're not putting it all on display. You're not walking around with a sign that's saying, hey, everybody, I'm hurt. I had a bad day. Everybody, I want everybody to know. When you do all of that and you vibrate like that, because I am a very vibrant person. I have a very loud personality, bubbly. I had to learn not to do that because people are going to be wanting to know your character so they can figure out how to diminish your character, how to bring you down if you're not just, you'll be surprised on the people that don't actually like you. You'll be surprised. And when you can learn this, you can then see that, all them questions that people want to get to know you is not genuine. You got to be careful when you got a lot going on and you just need somebody to talk to. I get it. It can be lonely. It can be dark. But you don't want it to get darker and lonelier because somebody that found out, what you need and what you want out of life, and they're using it against you. Breadcrumbing you, lying to you, manipulating you, gaslighting you, leading you astray, deceiving you, everything that you can possibly think of, and now all of a sudden you off track. Now you mad at everybody else when really it was supposed to be you need more discernment. You gotta watch for these snakes to be out there. You gotta have your head on a constant swivel. And it sounds like it may be a lot, but that's just the reality of the world that we live in. You cannot be out here giving and telling everybody what's going on. I know it gets dark and it gets heavy, but you gotta talk to God. Somebody, let me retract that somebody. Talk to God, because I was about to, you see, I ain't have nobody else. I ain't have nobody else to recommend for you to talk to, but talk to God and have more discernment on, the physical flesh of these people that we run into day in and day out, on who it is that you can actually, release information to, for you, who you can give intel to. You can't be giving everybody intel. Giving everybody intel, you wonder why your business is spread everywhere. You wonder why you got drama here and there because they associated with that person, and now they done went and told that person, and now they don't like you. Yo, you never know what's going on in people's heads, and you got to have discernment on who you allow in your life. You have to have discernment on who you tell your business to. You have to have discernment, and another valuable lesson that I learned in life is that not everything needs to be said. Not everything needs to be said. Yo, when I learned that, I said, wow. Not everything needs to be said. Duly noted. Duly noted. No cap. I'm telling you. And it's just like, what are you talking about? When it's time for you to understand, you'll understand. I mean, yo, not everything needs to be said, man. I felt so free when I learned that. I just felt so free. And it took me a while to understand. It took me a while to understand and to really grasp that idea, because I'm a talker. I'll be cutting people off. I'll be talking. 1,000 words just came at you. 2.5 seconds. The speed. That's how fast the speed was. We're not running off of gigabytes. What's the fast internet called that they run off? We got the fiber internet. Immediately downloaded and uploaded. Symmetrical speeds. Yeah. Symmetrical speeds. The information comes. 1,000,000 words. Boom, 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 boom. And, when I learned that, not only are people not listening to you, but half of that actually didn't even need to be repeated or stated. You actually could have left 90% of that out, and for me, that came with time and age, wisdom and understanding, because I just like to talk. I just like to talk. More real talk. We in the building. We talking. We talking today. We having a conversation. We being open and transparent. We being more than open right now. We are being more than open. And that's something that I really had to learn. And sometimes I still have to remember that. Not everything needs to be said. And it'll save you. It'll save you so much time. It'll save you in your romantic relationships. Oh my God, it'll save you. It'll save you from the plotting and the schemes. The tricks and wiles and tricks of the devil. Not everything needs to be said. Not everything needs to be said. Not everything. Anyways, y'all. I hope you guys are able to grasp that, because it grasped me just now. Remembering these facts, these gems I'm giving y'all. Not everything needs to be said. Stop talking to people that are not even listening to you, nor do they actually care, nor do they probably even like you. Stop telling everybody your business. Just stop.
Just stop.
Talk to God.
Just stop it.
Give it to Him. Say it all out to Him. Cast your cares on Him. And eventually, prayerfully, hopefully, God will send you a good friend or somebody to talk to that you can have as a complete confidant. Somebody that you can call and break down to. The right person. Because it's not that there's something wrong with that per se, other than not everything needs to be said. But it's always about who you're actually giving this information to. And don't act like we don't live in this time where everybody got that, shadow book, manipulation and how to do this and manipulate and a lot of people. All of that stuff is at an all-time high. The card reading, the tarot cards, the fortune, telling of fortune, the voodoo, the casting spell, all of that is very high right now. We are going into a new era and a new age where darkness is now glorified as something that's fun, something that's common, something that's social, and something that everybody can just do and you just start doing. So we are going into very dark times. This information is going to be valid and very, very powerful for you in the future. So keep your head on a swivel. Keep your head on a swivel. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe, turn the notification bell on, get in the comments and let me know how you feel about this video. Share a time where you share a time where you talk too much. And it wasn't to the right person. We can get it popping in the comments with the story times. We can get it popping. But y'all gotta subscribe first, like, share, and comment. We are out. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.
Moorereal Talk. Subscribe to Moorereal Talk. Moorereal Talk. Subscribe to Moorereal Talk, man. You know what I mean? It's the best channel out right now.
Big time.
Subscribe.
Big time.
Swear to God.
I see you fucking big time.
It is, bro.
This is huge.
It's the best channel out.
Huge.
I swear to God.
I